Hello, and welcome back to Stuff I Kind of Care About. I'm Danny McWilliams, and today I'm making a very, very simple vow book for a couple of my friends who are they're doing their wedding pictures in about a week. They eloped last year, and they just kind of want to do some more formal stuff to catch up with the family and have a little bit of fun. So I've got this somewhat started. I'm going to show you the steps that I'm doing so that you can follow along and actually know how to do this. So first up, I'm just taking very simple 8.5 by 11 paper. I'm cutting it in half widthwise, and what we're doing is just one quick strip. Be careful when you do this, make sure that it's half. It might look like half and it might not be half, which would be tragic, and then you waste paper. So the cool thing about a vow book is it doesn't need to be super big, unless for some reason they're literally writing books to each other, which to me seems a little bit ridiculous. Taylor, you're not writing books to each other, are you?
No, we're writing very smallly. Teeny tiny book.
Okay, cool. Taylor's operating the camera, so say hi to the nice people, Taylor.
Hey.
Taylor's a really good friend of mine. He's actually one of the first really good friends that I made when I moved here to Florence about 5.5 years ago. And we have been hanging out, doing really dumb stuff together ever since.
I mean, we did start out with karaoke, so that kind of explains it.
It started out really fun. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to measure in 1/2 inch and then 1.5 inches. So it's going to come in 1/2 inch and then another inch.
That's what she said.
Taylor, this channel's supposed to be family friendly.
What's wrong with that saying?
I don't like it. So, we're going to make those marks, and we're going to just punch that really quick with an awl. What I'm punching onto is just a really simple pine board that I covered in fabric, because as you start punching this thing, it starts to kind of fall apart and creating splinters, and I don't like splinters all over my work surface. So now we've got holes punched in this. We're going to fold it back and make sure everything's set. That doesn't go far away because we'll need it again. I'm using really simple brown cardstock for my cover, and what I'm going to do, this doesn't have to be perfect, is I'm actually going to trace out the outline of this book if I can avoid putting my finger right in the way of where I need to be. So this is what's going to make the cover. I really wanted it to be something interesting and unique, something that, you know, looks handmade. We've got this awesome trend going on, I feel like in a lot of people's lives, where they're looking for things that are a little bit more authentic, a little bit more like, hey, you know, my idiot friends made that for us. And so, you know, hopefully people like it. I don't know. You guys know I barely know what I'm doing anyway. So, right now we're going to line up my ruler onto these marks. The lighting is not ideal for this. I should probably get a nice overhead light. We're just going to use a simple cutting wheel and throw our trash in the trash. Hopefully this cover comes out right. If it doesn't, thankfully this is not very expensive paper, and I can just do this again. I would advise you, if you're going to be doing much cutting, be it fabric or paper or leather, get one of these. They are super, super amazing. X-Acto knives are great. Knives. Ha! Words. X-Acto knives are amazing, and they serve a very wonderful purpose in a makerspace. But one of the things that I really love having is a way to quickly and safely cut great straight lengths. So we're going to set this on our board that we punch on. And then we're going to take our paper. We're going to open it up. We're going to make sure that it's all nice and together. And then we're going to basically line this up as closely as we can. You're hopefully going to have a little bit of overhang on the ends, because when this folds in, you want it to actually match up. So that is reasonably close. Thankfully, people that know me know that I make things that look handmade. They do not look like they were made by a professional or a machine. So we're kind of going for that rough look. From here, you take this, you can put clips on this to hold this in place. I always think that that takes too much time away from what I'm doing. I am using a thicker, either embroidery or a thinner crocheting thread for this. And we're going to do a very simple saddle stitch. You just want a single pass on your thread. You don't want it double stitched or double threaded. We're going to start on the inside. I'm going to take this almost all the way through. We're going to leave a nice tail there. And then we're just going to come in the next hole. And we're going to continue all the way down like that. And once we've done this, we're going to pass back the same way, unless, I catch corners and stuff like that, which is just not the greatest thing to do. You guys totally know that I know what I'm doing, right? One thing you do want to be careful of when you are throwing this needle back through these holes, try not to catch the thread that you already have there. If you do, it's not the end of the world, but it may make it a little bit harder to finish this up. So, what we've done is we've gotten to this point. I'm going to trim this end here and get this needle and thread out of my way. And now we're actually going to take these and we're going to cinch this up. And then we're going to tie a very simple knot here. It doesn't need to be the most elaborate thing in the world. It just needs to hold, because this is just a very simple book. And hopefully, this will actually not look terrible when I'm done with it. Okay, so that's simple. I would advise that you trim these ends a little bit closer. You don't want to do them too close, because if you're not careful, that knot can come undone. Not careful. But I definitely don't want to leave a lot of excess in there. And that, my friends, is a very, very simple little booklet. You can write on the cover as much as you want to, or as little as you want to. I'm going to kind of put some personal stuff for them on there, so I'm not really going to film that. But I am going to be using a calligraphy pen. They, for some reason, like my handwriting, so I'm going to do that for them. But yeah, that's a really simple little Val book, and I hope you enjoyed this. If you're having fun watching me and you feel like subscribing, sharing, any of that stuff, it would be greatly appreciated. But honestly, I really just want you to enjoy this. Feel free to throw some comments down below. I want feedback from you guys. I want to hear what you're thinking. If you have ideas for projects you want to see me work on, I like doing a little bit of everything, and if I don't already do it, I'd love to learn about it. So if there's a way I can do that, I will definitely try to figure it out. Thanks again. Hopefully you enjoyed hanging out with stuff I kind of care about. I'll catch you guys later.